welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I'm a third-year international student at the University of Guelph, and today's video is going to be about course selection. Now, course selection at the University of Guelph happens 3 times per year because there's 3 semesters. So there's one course selection in July where you choose your fall courses, there's one course selection that's in November where you choose your winter courses, and there's one course selection in March, which is the one we're in right now, and I'm choosing summer courses. If you've just recently gotten accepted to the University of Guelph, congratulations! I'm very excited for you. I love this university and I hope that you do too, but you might be worried a little bit about when you get to choose your courses, when you get to start doing more of those things, because it is only March, and even though you just got your acceptance letter and you're excited to be making more progress, it's not exactly time yet for you to be choosing any of those courses, even choosing your residence yet. So just hold tight, and this video will come more in handy for you during the June time period. But if you're a returning student, now is a good time to be choosing your courses. And this is a good video to bank in your mind and have in your memory to remember how your course selection goes. So this video is going to consist of 2 different camera angles. One will be right here where I'm talking directly to the camera, and then the other one is when you're looking at my computer. And I have already filmed on 2 different days. One day before I selected my courses, explaining the planning tool and how the University of Guelph's computer programs are set up for course selection, and then one on the day that I actually chose my courses for the summer. So I hope you enjoyed those, and I'm just going to get right into a little bit of explanation before you start looking at my computer and that mess. So the first thing that you might be wondering is how you figure out which courses you're supposed to take. I know definitely in my first year when I was first accepted, I was super excited. I was looking through the course catalog, couldn't wait to figure out which courses I was going to be in the fall. But there is a specific calendar that you need to be following to make sure that you're on track for your degree. And you can find that by looking up whatever year you're starting, and then course calendar or course schedule. So for me, I started my degree in fall of 2019. So I look at the 2019-2020 course selection calendar. And usually they lay it out by semester, semester 1, semester 2, all the way up to 8. You're usually only allowed to take 2.5 credits per semester, which translates to 5 classes usually. So in my first semester at the university, I took 2.5 credits. 3 of those were classes that were each worth half a credit. It does sound a little bit confusing when I say it out loud, but most classes are worth half a credit, and then I also took one class that was worth a full credit. That was just because the workload in that class was a lot more than other courses, so they wanted to make sure that students had an expectation that that would be the way it was, and enough time in their day to get everything done. So my first semester ended up taking 4 classes, but usually you would take 5 to fulfill that full course load of 2.5 credits. Now, I have also done an overloaded semester where I took 6 courses, which was 3 credits at a time. They don't really allow you to do more than 6 courses at once. I remember when I was first looking at the course calendars, I was looking at all these electives. I originally signed up for 9 courses in my first semester, which is ridiculous. You can't do that. The program actually won't let you do that because that's not allowed. That would be way too much work. But I was just so used to my high school schedule where I already had 7 or 8 classes that I figured, oh, 9's fine. And I'm super interested in all these electives. I just want to take them all. And then the other way that your semester might look a little bit different is if you're taking a part-time course load. I have also taken part-time course loads, specifically in the summer, like what I will be scheduling for this summer. But that is anything under 3 courses. So 3 courses or less, I'm pretty sure. So 4 to 5 courses is considered full-time. 6 courses is overloaded, and less than 3, including 3 or less than courses, that would be a part-time schedule. And I talked there for just a second about electives versus core courses. So I'm in the business program. Management, Economics, and Finance is my major, and I have a couple of different categories for courses that I have to be taking. So the first category is those core courses like macroeconomics, microeconomics, introduction to business, introduction to marketing, all those things that every business student should have. And then there's a couple of other categories like required electives, restricted electives, liberal arts credits, things like that, that are more free, but sometimes still have restrictions. So the restricted electives, I have a huge list of business-related electives that I get to choose from. I found many, many courses on there that I was super interested in, and that's one of my favorite categories in my degree because there's so many interesting topics in there that still relate back to my major, but aren't specifically those just baseline courses that I didn't really find that interesting. So that's the restricted electives category. And then there's also the liberal arts category or the free electives category, where you're supposed to choose something that is not business. I think even for business students, it is restricted. You must not take anything related to business. So, for example, I took a creative writing class. Some of my friends have taken dance classes as for electives. All of those foreign languages, those can be electives, things like that. And even if you took a core course from another major, so if for some reason I was super interested in chemistry, which I'm not, I could take Chem 1090 and struggle through that, but that is something that I could do. Even though it's not an elective, it's an elective for me because it's not a business course. I'll try and link below, first of all, the course calendar for the 2022 year, so that'll be the incoming students for the fall, and I'll do that for the business as well as just like the general course calendar. But if you're watching this in the future and it is not currently fall 2022 that you're choosing for, or you didn't come in during the fall of 2022, then you have to find your course calendar that correlates to the year that you started at the University of Guelph. So the way that the university does course selection is in course selection windows, and they do that by seniority. So for example, I've taken like 26 credits worth of courses at the university, so I'm in the first window. I have the most seniority, I've taken the most courses, so I get to choose on the very first day of course selection. But I'll link down below the course selection windows webpage, and you can see, at least for this semester, what days exactly everyone was picking on. So for example, if you're coming in for your very first semester, you've taken 0 credits, so you'll be choosing on the last day of the course selection window, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You can course select all the way up until the second week of the semester. So if you're choosing in July, you have all the way until like September 15th to finalize your course schedule, and there's no stress if you don't get into the course you want right away. They very routinely open up more sections of the same classes, so you can get into the things that you need, the things that you want to take. So don't stress about the windows too much. It's just the way that the university organizes it so that the website doesn't immediately crash when like 5,000 people try and register at the same time. And there is also priority given to athletes and people that have to work around specific schedules. So if you've got practice and you know you have practice every Thursday at 2:30, you can't take a course at that time, so you need to get into the proper sections of the courses that are required in this semester for you, so that you're not like running into that issue all the time with your coach and then your class as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is go to Webadvisor, and that is the portal for which like everything happens on the back end. So my stuff is already saved in here, so I'm just going to click that. But normally you would log in with your central login ID, which is the same for CourseLink and Webadvisor. And then it brings you to this page, and I'm going to click Students because that's what I am. You might be familiar with clicking the Applicants menu up until this point if you've just applied to the university. And if you're a faculty member, then you'd be clicking the faculty. But for me, I'm a student, so I'm clicking Students. And then to schedule courses, I'm going to go over here to what's called Plan, Schedule, Register, and Drop. Hope you can read that. And that brings me to the new planning tool that the university has just implemented. That brings me to my home page, which gives me my current registration. And you can see over here on the side, I've got like all of the actual information for the courses. But we are registering for summer courses, so we're going to want to go over and click into the summer tab instead of staying in winter, which is our current semester. So we click into summer, and as you can see, I already have one course like pre-loaded into this area, and the register button is gray still because I'm recording this the night before registration. And you can see that I've chosen this section, which happens to be at 5:30 p.m. on Mondays and Tuesdays, the lectures on Monday, the seminars on Tuesday. And if I wanted to, I could look at the other sections. So there's one other section available for this same course. So it's like a different class, but it's taught by the same professor. And the lecture is actually at the same time. You can see it fills in the same gap. But then the seminar is an hour later. And I just prefer to have both the lecture and the seminar at the same time on those 2 different days so that I don't forget what time it's supposed to be, whether it's, the Monday or the Tuesday. So the next thing that I want to show you is how I actually get these courses into here, into the summer semester planning tool, because I obviously had mine already preloaded, so that's not super helpful to you. So there's 2 ways you can do that. One way is to go up into this little search bar up here, and you can type in either the course code, which for my case was Management 4000, or I could type in the name, which is Strategic Management, and I can't spell. And either one of those, when I hit enter, will take me to this landing page here that has a whole bunch of courses that are either the exact course that I want or some that are related that I might want. And a particular thing that is useful for when you're choosing your next semester courses is that you want to make sure that you double check what term you're choosing for. So for example, we're currently in winter 2022, and I want to look only at courses that are offered in summer 2022. So then you can see that narrows my search to only 22 courses rather than 200 and something. So you can, so then there's two choices for how you get this into your schedule. You can either click add course to plan if you don't care which section, or if at the point that you're choosing this course the sections aren't published yet, or you can go down here and add a specific section to the schedule, which is what I did. The other way that you can get courses into your planning tool, which I'll show you now. Now we're back at the point that we started at. We're in my summer 22 semester. You can go over to your timeline, and this one is summer 2022, and then I can add things in this way by directly dragging them from another semester into the summer one. Another useful thing is if you want to add a new term. So for example, we're currently in winter 2022, and then I already have planned summer 2022, but I can't click into fall 2022 because I don't have that term on my timeline. I can go over here and hit the plus button. As you can see, it comes up with this little message, add a term. I'm not sure if you can read it, but I could add a term that way. And you can like select from this whole list of terms. For some reason, if I wanted to add winter 2026, I could, but I don't want to do that. So I could add fall 2022, and then I would just click add term, and that would populate in. I'm not going to do that because I don't need a fall term. This will be my last semester here this summer. But the second way that you can add a term is by going into the timeline. So that's up here by the schedule. So here's the schedule, and then I click over into the timeline, and you can see right here it says add a term. This is also the place where you can remove planned courses, but you can see all of my past terms in this history, and it goes all the way up until the current one, and you can see that here there's this little like green bar that tells you I've completed this term. This one is yellowish orange, so we're in progress, and this one has no bar, which means like we haven't started it yet, we're just planning. So I think that's actually all of the stuff about adding or dropping courses. There's just a little X up here if you want to drop this course off the plan. You can tab down here and look at the meeting information. It'll tell you the time of day and, of course, the day of the week, M for Monday. The dates that this course will be active, which will be May through August. And then the location of the room, which will be in the Richards building. And then this is the room number. And then down here it says the same information for the seminar. If we go to my current term and I go to the meeting information, we also have the exam information. It tells me that this is the exam, so I don't get confused. It tells me the date of the exam, the time of the exam, and the day of the exam. It says location TBD because it's up to the professor to tell you like exactly where your exam is. So make sure you go to class for that. But you can see here these blue boxes, those are my exam days, and these green ones are my actual courses, like when I'm going to class and things like that. Hope that those colors show up nicely, but basically this little block in here is all green, and these three are blue. And then you can see here, this is a drop button, so like if I'm in course and I wanted to drop a class, I would recommend talking to program counselors first, but you can just drop it here. It will ask you for a second authorization so that you don't accidentally drop courses. But anyway, that's pretty much all that I wanted to show you about adding courses in the planning tool. Now, another thing that I want to show you is how you get to your progress. So over here in this drop-down menu for academics, I'm in the student planning tab, and we've been looking in the plan, schedule, and register, but now we're going to look at the My Progress section. That brings you to this landing page here, and as you can see, it gives you a whole lot of information, lots of bars, lots of infographics, things like that. But yeah, this one tells me my like total actual progress, but then down here it's got my total planned credits and in progress credits also involved, and then it's got my credits from this institution. So I came into this university with some credits from another institution, but yeah, anyway. So we can go down here and we can see a list of a ton of courses that I've taken. This is in section 1, and it tells me like what this section is about. This one, for example, is all of my required courses. And then if I scroll down, there's a couple of required maths that I had to take, a statistics course, and marketing courses. And then down here, there's the AOE requirements, which is like the liberal arts, the electives, the areas of emphasis, things like that. So I already did all of my liberal education requirements. You can show the details and it'll tell you like what that means. Same idea for the free credits. And then here for my area of emphasis, it shows me, this looks a little scary, this big red bar here, but you can see that it does say fully planned. It just says 0 of 1 completed. So yeah, there's that. Then down here, this one, it does look a little scary because there's like all these red things that you can see, but all I need is 1.5 credits, and each class is half a credit. So I've actually completed 1, and I have 2 in progress, so I'm all set on this category as well. And as you scroll down, you can see that that's the case for everything else too. So that's how you check your progress. And it's based off of your specific program. So for example, mine is BCom Management, Economics, and Finance. And you can see, all of my information. You can see my specialization is management here. In Management, Economics, and Finance, you get to choose your specialization, either management or finance, and I chose management. It tells me the calendar that I work off of, which is the 2019 calendar. So that's a pretty nice thing. You can also over here view a new program, which, there's the whole list of all the programs here. So for example, we can go down to BCom. Maybe I wanted to go into accounting, wherever I can find that. Yeah, there. I can view that program. And it will tell me, I'm not enrolled, first of all, but it does tell me like how far along I am in this degree if I were to change over to this degree. So you can see if I wanted to all of a sudden switch majors, I would have to do all of these courses here. It says they're not started, they're highlighted in red. So that would be a hard switch for me at this point. I'd have to do 2 courses here, so that would be a difficult switch as well. But otherwise, I have all those requirements done. So you can see here the progress in this course versus my progress in my actual course. It's a very different bar. Anyway, that's it for the progress tool, I think. Over here in this sidebar menu for academics specifically, you can also get the course catalog, you can view your grades, you can view your unofficial transcript, you can place an order for an official transcript, and you can look at your current academic standing, which can all be important things if you're applying other places. So for example, if I was applying to grad school, I would order an official transcript to send all those schools. If I was looking at those schools, I could look at my current academic standing and probably download something that says I have high marks and they should admit me to school. But other than that, that's kind of it for the planning side of things in Webadvisor. And I will have to check in tomorrow when we get to actually register for my summer semester course. But for now, this register button is still gray, so I'm going to say goodnight for now, and I'll see you at 8 in the morning tomorrow to register for this course and explain how course registration works at Guelph. Good morning, everyone. Today is the day of my course selection window, and you might be able to see it is 7:59. So in 1 minute, we're going to refresh the page and select my courses. It's a super sunny morning. I'm never awake this early, but it is nice to be up while it's light out. Super bright. My plants are loving it. But anyway, we're just waiting now. Oop, 8 o'clock. So I'm going to refresh the page, go to summer, and then you can see I can click register now. So I'm going to hit register. Webadvisor might crash. It always does this. There's just too many people trying to do the same thing all at once. And that's why it's important to get our courses like preloaded into the schedule. Priority access. Okay. Well, it says priority access up here. Not sure if you can see it. And these usually say like, hey, you can't be enrolled in this course yet. But down here it says I'm enrolled. Registered but not started. And on my schedule, it's there. So I think it worked. Waitlisted, 0 credits. If I couldn't be enrolled, I think it would say waitlisted. But anyway, that's that final part of course selection. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope it was super helpful to you. You can find some other videos that I've made over here, and hopefully if you have any questions, you can reach out to the program counselors at the university, or you can find your way on the university website, which I'll also link below. If you do have some simple questions or things related to business especially, I can answer those down in the comments down below. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.